time, Boris had to put up with a whole hell of a lot of pain. The first few times were especially painful. The poor piglet had squealed like someone was slicing him to pieces. This time, he was used to it, and he endured the suffering in near total silence.
Forward!
Boris shot up off the ground and spun into a ball in midair. I glanced back at the doll. She was watching everything the pig did with rapt interest, making no attempt to interfere. Kick! Boris slammed into the ball of bone.
Ah!
I went pale. The bone ball didn't even seem to notice Boris. It knocked him aside like a little speck of dust, slamming him into one of the many turquoise boulders littering the area.
Oh, it's starting to snow,
said the doll as she looked up. The ball was just a few yards away from us. A snowflake fell onto my nose. Boom! A loud crack burst through the air. I jumped. I don't know why, but the bone ball had suddenly cracked and crumbled to pieces before us. Crack, crack, crack. 3 more wooden toys stepped out of the forest, snapping branches as they walked. They looked like nutcrackers, each of them carrying a rifle on its shoulder. A little wisp of smoke was dissipating from the tip of one of the barrels. The nutcrackers strode over to us in a neat, even row. Each of them was taller than me by about a foot, and at least 3 times as broad at the shoulders.
Thank you, Uncle Theodore, Uncle John, and Uncle Steve,
the girl exclaimed loudly as she pointed to each of the dolls in turn.
Who's this?
Uncle Theodore clacked his teeth together.
Who's this?
Uncle John clacked his teeth twice.
Who?
Uncle Steve clacked his 3 times.
He fell from the sky, said the girl.
She raised a finger into the air, and a little snowflake landed on it.
And it started snowing, and the cherry tree started to bloom.
The 3 nutcrackers replied with a strange stiff movement of their heads.
You can go, said the girl with a wave. I'll stay with them.
The nutcrackers clicked their teeth, turned, and marched off back into the woods.
Archie,
Boris groaned as he crawled back toward me.
I'm dying.
It's just a bump, I replied as I touched the snowflake on my nose. Strangely, it didn't seem to be in any hurry to melt. It was hard, like a piece of crystal. I had absolutely no idea what was going on or where I was. No matter the situation, however, it's always important to keep a cool head. Panic always leads to disaster. The ground began to shake behind me, and something suddenly came to an abrupt stop right next to me, enveloping me in a powerful gust of wind. Whatever it was, it had been moving so fast that I couldn't even see it until it stopped. "Dee," a loud bass voice boomed. "Have you seen a bone lid around here?" Finally, I got a look at whoever or whatever was talking. It was a 7-foot-tall green giant with weird, elongated ears. On its shoulder sat a ginger cat, which was wearing boots and smoking a pipe. These 2 were both wooden toys as well, but they were so well made that it was hard to tell at first glance. The air suddenly reeked of alcohol. I looked closer and discovered that the faces of the big green giant and his cat were swollen like those of an inveterate alcoholic.
No, Uncle Joe,
the girl replied immediately. The cat replied with a loud belch. These bones. The giant leaned forward slightly, then suddenly disappeared, creating a powerful alcohol-scented gust of wind and a small crater in the earth where he'd been standing.
They're on the wine again,
the girl sighed.
Uncle Yoshio and Aunt Orizo won't be happy.
Archie, let's go back. What do you say?
Boris asked hopefully.
Back in Jew City, I used to find weird mushrooms once in a while and eat them. But even after that, I never saw anything as crazy as this.
What's your name?
The girl suddenly asked. Archie. This is Boris. You?
I'm Doll.
Doll? I was surprised.